we have a tulip tree, tulip poplar, a lot of different names. And it's definitely a significant tree. I would say at least 100 years old, probably more, probably 125. What I like about this specimen is how nice the branching is. A lot of times these trees will grow in forest settings, and they'll just be kind of like a telephone pole straight up and down. But this one's kind of in a field setting, so you get to see a lot more of the branching. And they're great wildlife trees. The tulips in the springtime, they provide nectar to a lot of different pollinators, early pollinators, and they're just a great tree to have. And as you can see, there's a hornet's nest up there, probably because of how this tree supports the wildlife. You know, it's just testament to that. Really tall trees, great shade trees. They get a lot of bad press because they can be weak wooded, because they're such quick growers that the wood inside tends to be a little bit weaker. But if you give it time, like this tree, it's 100 plus years old, it will make up for that and, you know, have no problems at all. Here we have a nice old linden tree. They're kind of medium growers. They're not super fast, not too super slow. And this, you know, it's just a testament to how old this property is and how it's been undisturbed. And, you know, they're great hardwood trees. In the old days, they would be used to make a lot of furniture. But they're, aside from that, they're just great fall color, nice yellow. It's just a little different than a lot of the maples that you see around Pennsylvania that have that red. This is a nice contrast, has a yellow fall color. So, and really nice heart-shaped leaves. That's the other thing I like about the linden. Another unique feature of this linden tree is the wide buttressing. That doesn't develop until like really far in advanced age. So it's just another unique feature of this tree. And it's for wind resistance. It's so that this tree can stabilize itself as it gets heavier and larger. And yeah, great trees. You can see why that this family wanted them planted here. They're valuable. All right, here we have an old sycamore tree. And what's interesting about this tree, I am guessing that it could have been struck by lightning. And we have a vein of it here that's actually started to rot and die back. And as you can see, these are woodpecker holes. And sometimes migrating owls will use, in particular, pileated woodpecker holes and kind of hollow them out a little bit further and create nests. I personally think that that's an owl's den right there, and they'll reuse that same one. They'll clean it out each year. There's nothing in there now because it's not their time of year to be nesting here in PA, but come springtime, who knows? We'll have to check back and see what's going on. But they're just a resilient tree. They can withstand a lot of abuse. On this side, there's an old basketball hoop that somebody put in who knows how long ago, probably close to 80 years ago. And it's the tree is actually grown over top of the base of the basketball hoop. Just a great tree, bulletproof. Another neat feature of the sycamore is its camouflaged type bark. In the wintertime, we're always looking for a winter interest. You know, trees, after they drop their leaves, a lot of times they're just boring to look at. But the sycamore has an appealing look. You know, it's just something you don't see all the time. Here we have a ginkgo biloba, and I've actually looked at this property on old aerial photography, and this tree is here in 1929. So I'm guessing that it's easily 120 years old, maybe more. And it was a tree that's kind of one of John Bartram's favorite trees, the famous botanist, and his family, oddly enough, used to own this land before it became Woodburne. And yeah, this tree is really special. They don't get this big in our area because they're either cut down or whatever reason, but this one's been here undisturbed for a very long time. And if we can take a closer look at the size of the trunk, you'll get to see just how big it is. It's, you know, I can't really get an estimate, but I would say, I mean, it's got to be 6 foot in diameter. I don't know about the circumference. The circumference is probably closer to 11 feet. And it's just a really unique tree. They're from Asia, but they were brought over here. They're not invasive. They don't cause a lot of trouble, and they're very tough, resilient trees. They can withstand drought. They can withstand high temperatures, low temperatures, road salt. They can withstand a lot of abuse. And, you know, it's a true specimen right here. And it's hard to capture on footage and on, you know, photograph. I've tried to take pictures of it. It just never does it justice. But yeah, the leaves on this tree are really what do it. It's called maidenhair, and it's got this really neat, unique fan shape. You'll never see that on any other leaf. Very unique. And this is a male. It doesn't get the fruit that a lot of people complain about. This one is a male specimen, which in cultivation a lot of people look for. And when they planted these ginkgos, a lot of times historically they would plant them with an evergreen backdrop. As you can see here, this is a spruce, and they tried to contrast the beautiful yellow color with the dark green right around this time, November, late fall. It's just a nice thing to look out to, you know, from your mansion.